Miss Sanders, a Caucasian teacher, and Roxy, a cute yellow Labrador retriever, stand in a classroom with a smartboard behind them with the word etiquette on it. Camera angles change between wide, medium, and tight shots.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my classroom. I'm here with Roxy, who is training to be a service dog.
Hi, what are we talking about today?
I'm going to share with you about disability etiquette.
What's etiquette?
Disability etiquette is basically a fancy way of saying that there are a few things to remember when talking with or about people with disabilities.
Oh, tell me more.
The most important thing that kids can remember is to treat other people like they want to be treated and to be respectful towards them.
Like the golden rule?
That's right, Roxy. There are things that both kids and grown-ups can do. Here are some examples.
An African American woman in a wheelchair appears on the smartboard and then dissolves full screen, followed by a picture of wheelchair basketball, and then a woman using a wheelchair and a woman jogging are together on a walking path.
Roxy, if you see someone using a wheelchair or crutches, or acting in a way that is different than you are used to, you shouldn't stare or yell out questions about what might be different about them. Instead, quietly ask the adult you are with about the situation, or if it would be okay to talk to the person and ask them about themselves. And here's something that grown-ups should know. If your child is staring at a person with a disability, such as someone who uses a wheelchair, or they say something out loud about the person, don't get upset or shush the child. Instead, use it as a teaching moment. You could say, "I see you are looking at the person using a wheelchair. Some people's bodies work in different ways than yours, so they may need that wheelchair to get around."
I'm learning a lot, Miss Sanders. I remember the one time we were out at the store together and I told you, look, that person needs a wheelchair because they can't walk.
I remember, Roxy. What did I tell you was a better way to talk about the person?
You said to make sure to say what is happening without making guesses about what the person can do. So instead of saying that person needs a wheelchair or is wheelchair bound, I should say that person uses a wheelchair to help them get around. That way I'm talking about the person, not making such a big deal about their disability.
Very good, Roxy. Remember, treat people the way you want to be treated. You wouldn't want someone yelling, "Look at that dog who doesn't know how to be a service dog yet."
That's true. My feelings would be hurt if someone talked about me like that.
Instead, you would want someone saying, "That's Roxy. She is learning to be a service animal."
Yes, I like that way of talking about me much better.
Right now, I want to introduce you to a man with a disability who is going to tell us more about himself and how to act around other people.
Jesse Schwartzman working at his desk, followed by him speaking in a conference room where he was interviewed.
Jesse Schwartzman works for the Heightened Independence and Progress Center in New Jersey.
I am a person that stutters, so what happens is I'm trying to say something, it doesn't always come out as fast as I would like, as quick as I would like, in the right way, the right shape I would like. When it usually comes out is if there is a particular sound or a particular type of word that I have difficulty pushing out. It's usually S's, SH's, CH's. I'll be V's. I was a V. I tried to get a V word out, and it gave me a little bit of a tension on that.
Jesse says one thing that people might notice when meeting him is his hand.
I was born without a thumb and a pinky on my right hand. And so what happened was, I don't know if you could see, but there is a scar. I don't know if you can get that. But there's a scar, it goes even further. And there was a scar because my hand was curved like this, curved into my body. So I was born like this, and then I had a series of surgeries.
Jesse says the one big thing to remember is that every person is different, whether they have a disability or not. And just like you, each person wants to be treated nicely and fairly. Jesse says sometimes when kids and adults see someone with a disability, they don't know what to do and make things awkward.
You have people pointing, you have parents shushing kids, you have just people coming up to you and asking you questions. That's something I've had a lot is, oh, hey, what's with your hand? Or how did that happen? Were people staring and just staring until they like make it awkward? Like sometimes they just ask me like, hey, do you have any questions about my hand?
So here are some things that you should or should not do if you see someone with a disability.
Don't stare. Don't point. And personally, if you feel comfortable talking to me, then I'll talk to you.
Remember, never interrupt someone who is speaking, or if they are busy doing something. And while Jesse doesn't mind people coming over to ask him questions, not everyone wants to be asked questions when they are out and about. Remember, each person is different. Another example, if Jesse stutters or his speech isn't coming out, he prefers if people try to finish his sentence for him. Although, here's the proper thing to do.
If they are having a block, if they are trying to get out their words, don't finish their sentences.
Just because you might see someone who does things differently than you do, don't think, oh, they need some help.
I feel like it's very important that if they ask for help, give the help. But if they're not asking for help, don't ask.
So if you see someone using a wheelchair, never just go up to them and try to push or touch it. And here's something else.
For someone that is deaf or are experiencing that hearing loss, something I've heard and seen over and over again is people talking louder or talking over them. That's also super rude. Super rude. So just talk normal. It's definitely preferable to talk more in their direction.
Lastly, some advice for adults who are with kids.
Don't shush them, just acknowledge that this is something that's going on, and maybe just simply say, we will talk about it later. Because if a child has a curiosity, then, that would be cool. That's definitely something that's really awesome.
That's really cool to hear from Jesse.
Remember, everyone deserves to be treated with respect, whether someone has a disability or not. Roxy, if you see someone with a disability and don't know what to say, you can just say hi. I bet that person wants to say hi to you too.
Sounds good, Miss Sanders. Thank you.